been waiting for Halloween forever. The days just wouldn't pass. I wanted to decorate my house. Ever since I moved away from my parents, Halloween had become a blurry memory. Decorating the house at night, going to the market with my dad to buy stuff. I was reminiscing about those days. And here, in this city where I've been living for years, I couldn't bring my parents over. They wanted to celebrate Halloween in their own home, and I wanted to celebrate it in this new city. But I had found good friends now. They had promised they would help me decorate. Only a few days were left. When would I get to decorate my house? When would I make it scary? I had dreams in my eyes. I was going to make my house so terrifying that if a car passed by, people would feel genuine fear. I had seen many houses in the neighborhood. Everyone had ghosts hanging from trees, fake corpses strung up so they looked real. But it was all fake, all of it. At 10 p.m., my friends showed up at my house. Maya, Chloe, and Jake. I looked at them angrily. What kind of time is this to show up? How are we supposed to decorate the house now? It's dark, we won't be able to see anything. And there are so few days left. You were all talking about going out and coming back, saying you'd have everything decorated beforehand. You've delayed everything. Everyone else is busy decorating their own homes. Your families are all here, but my family isn't. I'm all alone here, aren't I? But the friends I had found were the kind who kept their promises. They spent the whole night decorating the house. Maya was coming up with such amazing ideas. They were beyond me. I liked her. But sometimes she said things that made me want to strangle her. I didn't just think of her as a friend. I thought of her as my girlfriend, but I never heard her say it, and I could never propose. We just liked each other. We felt it in our eyes. By morning, the house was decorated. It looked fantastic. They had brought back a carload of such incredible stuff that the outside of the house looked like a scene of devastation. I was happy. Finally, my dream had come true. For the last 4 years, I'd been so buried in work that Halloween would come and go without me even noticing. Decorating the house always got left behind. But this time I had found such good friends. This Halloween was going to be great. But when they challenged me, it scared me. A few days later, on Halloween night, we had planned not to just stay around our house, but to try and visit other houses too. There were many houses here that were decorated extremely well, and we would walk further ahead. We all loved walking anyway. The 4 of us friends, holding each other's hands, moved forward. One house was done so well, for a moment we thought, wow, they've made it really scary. We had already seen all the houses earlier when we drove around, but at night it was even more fun. As we walked, we ended up about 1 kilometer away. Ahead was an empty space, and at the very end, that black-colored house. Lights were on inside that house. As soon as I saw those lights, I told my friends, "Come on, let's go back." They said, "Look, it's such a scary house. It's not decorated, but it looks like they've used paint just to make it look frightening." Then I told my friends, "Guys, that house is really scary. Stories are told that a long time ago, an entire family burned to death there. Since then, no one uses this house." Just then, Maya said in a loud voice, "Look, look, the light's on, the light's on, someone's inside." I told her, "No, no one's inside. No one likes to come near this house. Everyone thinks it's a cursed house. A fire started here on its own. The whole family was consumed by the flames. Since then, it's called the Manush house, and no one even wants to buy it. I don't know how that light is on inside that house." Just then, Jake said, "Then let's go check it out. Let's go inside and see. Who lit the light if no one uses this house? Is it a prank? Or is it real?" Suddenly the light went out. After that, Maya said, "Oh, the light went out. Someone must be inside. Look, look, they turned the light back on. Someone is inside." I was telling them, Whoever is inside, what's it to us? The house looks scary. We've seen it. Let's move on. Let's go see some other house. But my friends were adamant. They were saying, what do you think? This house is haunted. The way you're scared, you think it's cursed. Nothing like that happens. Just like people put up fake stuff to scare others on Halloween, right? Similarly, so-called haunted houses. Someone must be playing a prank. And we keep thinking it's a haunted house. Do you want to know the truth or not? Then Chloe spoke up. No, we don't want to know the truth. To know the truth, we'd have to go inside, right? Jake smiled. Maya smiled. I was also nervous. Whenever someone said we shouldn't go, my friends would get stubborn. I told you they'd start making bets. After that, they'd say we have to do it. And this time too, they were adamant. Maya and Jake said, we bet $1,000. We're going inside. We'll go see what's making that light. You're saying no one lives in the house. The electricity is cut. Someone must have lit a candle. Look how it flickers sometimes. Sometimes it's steady. There are white curtains on the window. We'll go in and check it out. What kind of light is it? And if it is a haunted house, what kind of ghost is it? Anyway, it's Halloween night, right? They say Halloween is the day of the ghosts. On this day, ghosts can roam the streets. Everyone thinks people are just wearing costumes and can walk around without fear. We should go into a haunted house like this and see. We should clear the misconception from our minds. And when we see the light there, you'll see, I'll win the bet. There's no ghost. Jake and Maya made a bet of $1,000 that there was no ghost. The light was just fluctuating, or it was something like that. I had said, no one is inside that house. There's a lock on the outside. I don't know how this is, but I'm afraid something ghostly might happen. Chloe was saying something similar too. The two of us were on one side, they were on the other. Their stubbornness was stronger. They convinced us. After that, we had to go inside the house and investigate how the light was on. It was a 3-story house, quite large, with at least 10, 12 rooms, probably a big hallway inside. But to get in, we'd have to enter through a window. And going into a house that had once been on fire, how dangerous could that be? Everything in a burned house is weak. What if we tried to climb the stairs and go up too high? First, there was the big boundary wall, which was very clean, but inside there was a lot of debris. There was a path from the gate to the house, full of garbage. The house had never been cleaned after the accident. The gate was locked, the same old lock. The front door was also locked with a thick padlock. Many windows were burned, broken. The metal hadn't melted, the bars were still there. We climbed over the wall, and as soon as we entered through that window, a strange smell hit us. It was a weird smell, like something burning. Then Chloe said, the whole house is burned, right? Such a smell is expected. Jake agreed with Chloe. All 4 of us were inside the house. I was a little scared. On the upper floor, in the very front room, the light was flickering, the one we had come inside to investigate. If someone has really bought this house, and they file a complaint with the police, then we'll be in trouble, right? We entered the house without permission. Will anyone believe that we only came in to see if there were any ghosts? We were just standing there looking around in all directions. Only Jake had a flashlight. The rest of us had nothing. We were following him. Jake first shone the flashlight around. The whole room was burned. The walls, which were wooden, were badly charred with marks on them. Broken, fallen things were hitting our feet. My foot hit something heavy, made of metal. Even if a house burns, metal things aren't affected much. I picked it up. It was a strange object. It looked like a doll made of metal. It was brass. The face of the brass doll was horrifying. And it wasn't like the face had become like that because it melted in the heat. The doll was genuinely very scary. As I was looking at it, Jake said, "Don't touch anything. You know it's a cursed house, right? If you touch something, the curse will fall on you. Who knows what could happen here?" Scared, I threw the thing down, and then everyone laughed at me. They had just said that to scare me, and I, already scared from the inside, got even more frightened. As we left that room, we entered a hallway. It was a big hall, and there were many doors visible. In the middle was a burned sofa. Its shape was intact, but it was completely charred. Jake went near that sofa and kicked it hard. The sofa fell to one side because it was so badly burned. It was just a piece of ash holding its shape. It was completely silent there. We were quiet, but then a dragging sound came from upstairs. Hearing that sound, we got scared. Our fear wasn't of ghosts, but the fear that something was being dragged upstairs. Maybe someone was present upstairs. No sound was coming, but still someone must be there for something to be dragged, right? This fear was more dangerous. We didn't want to get caught. Everyone was completely silent. Jake put a finger to his lips and signaled everyone. Then he turned off the flashlight too. Only the street light from outside was coming in through the windows. In that light, not much was visible. It was completely dark. I said to Jake, "Jake, turn on the flashlight. If someone is here, we'll at least see them, right?" Jake said, "No, there can't be anyone upstairs. I made a noise down here, right? I kicked the sofa. There was a noise from upstairs too. Maybe whoever is upstairs will come down. I don't want to get caught. If someone comes down and we make a noise, we'll run towards the window and get out." I agreed with Jake. We waited for 5 minutes. No one came. Then Jake turned the flashlight back on. Maya was holding on to me, staying behind me. Maya used to joke the most, but now she was the most scared. Chloe was behind her too. We were all scared, but still, for the bet, we could even risk our lives. That's the kind of friends I had. There were many rooms there, their doors open. We shone the flashlight upwards, wanting to see if anyone was upstairs. Jake said, "Let's go up the stairs. Look, these stairs are metal. They can't have burned and broken. They are built well. Wood was placed on them. A little wood is burned, not much. It won't collapse. We can go up. Let's go see the room." We started climbing the stairs, and as we went up, our fear grew. While we were on the stairs, that dragging sound came from upstairs again. We were even more scared. When Jake had turned off the flashlight, there was some light on the lower floor from the windows. We hadn't gone upstairs. Maybe there was light upstairs. But on the stairs, there was absolutely no light. The upstairs room from which a little light was coming from inside wasn't candlelight or electric light. It was the street light from outside coming through the windows. We couldn't even see each other. But slowly, climbing the stairs, when we reached the upper floor, that room was right in front of us, and its door was closed. From downstairs, we couldn't tell if there was a light inside or not, but from outside, the light was clearly visible. We started moving forward, and again that sound happened. This sound came from inside that door again. But the surprising thing was, there was a lock on the outside of the door. Who was present inside? To find out, Jake again shone the flashlight straight at the door. Leaning close to the door, he said, "I'll shake the door and open it. Everyone get ready. Whatever we see inside, we'll be careful. First, everyone cover your faces. Let's not be recognized. I have a handkerchief. I've covered my mouth. You all cover your mouths too. I'll push it open. After that, be careful. If no one is visible, we'll stay. If someone is in front, surprised, and tries to catch us, we'll run back." Everyone nodded in agreement. After that, Jake tried to open the door. As soon as Jake touched the door handle, he pulled his hand back sharply. He said, "Oh man, the handle is so hot. There's no fire inside, is there?" We all looked at each other. Could it be that the house had caught fire again? I said, No, the handle must be hot like that. Let me see." When I touched the handle, it was ice cold. I couldn't keep my hand on it for long. My hand felt like it was freezing. I pulled it back and said, "Hey Jake, the handle is freezing cold." "Buddy, you said it was hot. You're saying the opposite." Jake touched it and pulled his hand back. "It's hot, man, it's hot. My hand is burning." We were saying opposite things. I was saying cold. He was saying hot. But a handle can't be both hot and cold. Then Maya pushed both of us aside and said, "Let me try. Let me see if it's cold or hot." Maya touched it and said, "It's neither cold nor hot. It's fine, just like it should be. Look, you two guys are conspiring to fool us." After that, Chloe touched it and said, "It's perfectly fine. You two are just trying to scare us." Jake and I looked at each other. We were surprised. First, our statements didn't match. Now their statements didn't match ours either. But Maya turned the handle with her hand, pushed the door open, and the door swung open completely. Then we could see inside that room. And what we saw inside that room, how could anyone describe it? In the exact center of the room, a large metal plate was placed on the floor, quite big. In its middle, some sticks were placed, and they were on fire. It looked like someone had lit the sticks and left. We looked around. That room didn't look burned. It was strange. On the walls, it was like a child's painting. Bad drawings made with a pen on poor quality paper, crooked lines. The whole room was full of this. Papers were scattered everywhere. Looking at the fire, Jake said, "This is definitely a prank for Halloween." Think about it. A house where no one lives. If a light is shining from inside the window, what will everyone think? That something is burning inside. And someone really did come in and light a fire in a metal plate so the fire doesn't spread and everyone stays scared. It's brilliant. Someone scared us. Then Maya said, "What's this? Look down." When our gaze fell downward, in front of us, the fire was burning. Our shadows should have been behind our backs because the fire was right in front of us. But our shadows seemed to be forming near the fire, as if the light was coming from behind us. The shadows were in front, and with the fire, that shadow was moving, as if the fire was pulling our shadows towards it. Seeing this, all four of us were terrified. Then Chloe said, "Let's go. Let's get out of here. The bet is fulfilled. There's no ghost in the room. Someone lit a fire. That's it. That's enough. Let's go. Let's leave." Everyone agreed with this. We were about to close the door when the same heavy dragging sound came from behind the door. We had opened the door fully, but one side. Maybe someone was hiding there. We hadn't looked on that side, but the sound came from behind the door. We were so surprised, so stunned and scared, standing there looking at the door. Jake turned off the flashlight and said, "Let's look behind it. Everyone, stay together." We all wanted to look behind the door. We pushed the girls behind us. Jake and I went near the door handle. As we pushed the door further so it would swing back, and we could see what was behind it, there was nothing behind the door. But who made the sound? We didn't get an answer to that question. We were standing there looking at the whole room, when Jake said, "Look, behind the door, this big thing. It's like a piece of painting, like a child made a painting." When we looked at that painting, it was a wall made of bricks. And upon closer look, all the papers here, on every single paper, a brick wall was drawn. A brick wall, and in the wall, one broken brick, and in the middle, a key was drawn. Once you understand what the artist wants to draw, you can easily see that everything here is drawn the same. Every paper had a brick wall, and in the middle of the wall, a broken brick with a key drawn. Then Maya said, "Let's go, let's go. Why have we stopped? Nothing's there. Something must be moving on its own because of the wind. Come on." Just as we stepped out, Chloe, who was still behind, said, "Look, this painting is different. This isn't a wall." As soon as she picked up that painting, the fire behind us went out. Jake had already turned off the flashlight. We weren't paying attention to the shadows now, but in Chloe's hand was that painting. The fire went out. Pitch darkness. That pitch darkness was pierced by Jake's flashlight as he turned it on. The sticks behind were gone. The plate was also no longer there. And Chloe had shackles on her feet, as if someone had just put shackles on her feet by themselves and locked them. Seeing this, Chloe was terrified. As soon as she jerked, they were thick iron shackles that couldn't be broken, and they were attached with a lock to the thick iron bars of the window behind her. Someone had done this and left, and we didn't even know. Was it a human's work or something else's? We didn't know that either. After that, everyone tried to pull and break that thick chain. It was a chain. No matter how much we pulled, neither the iron bars, which were iron, nor the iron shackles could we break. We had nothing to cut it with. And the fear was that whoever did this could do it to the rest of us too. We kept pulling, trying. Chloe kept screaming. Maya was hugging her, saying, "Your boy's right. You go to the gym, you have strength. Pull, break it." But we told her, how can we break iron? Whoever put this on her must have the key. Where is the key? Where could the key be? And where is the one who did this? The room is empty. I said to Jake, "Jake, don't turn off the flashlight now. Something is wrong. We have to cut this chain. We need to find something to cut the chain with. Where do we look?" Jake said, "We'll have to look in the nearby rooms. And Chloe, don't stay here alone. Maya, stay with her." Maya was with her, but both were scared. "Don't leave us alone. Don't leave us alone here. We're scared." Both were scared, but we had to go away. We had to bring something back. Only then could we cut that chain. Jake and I went to another room. There too, many papers were scattered. On every paper, a brick wall and a key. A brick wall, a broken brick, and a key in the middle. The same thing was everywhere. We kept looking. In 2 or 3 rooms, there were only papers. But one surprising thing was that the walls were black. Everything was burned. But these pieces of paper, they weren't burned. It seemed like after the fire, someone was still present here. Some child who kept drawing these shapes on paper and throwing them around. Who could it be? Then Jake said, "Look, look, an axe, an axe." Jake ran, threw the flashlight down, picked up the axe. The flashlight was now in my hand. Jake ran back. He liked Chloe, loved her, couldn't live without her, even if the words of love never came to his lips. But we both knew, there's no need to say it. When the time comes, love finds its way. You just need to have that love in your heart. Jake ran with that axe, wanting to free Chloe from those shackles. He kept hitting the axe on those shackles with all his might. Even though the axe was also iron, the shackles were iron too and wouldn't break. After that, he hit the axe on the window bars. The handle was wooden, but on the other side of the bars was a glass window. The axe slipped from the handle, went through the window, and fell outside beyond the boundary wall. And now we had nothing. Jake also said, "These shackles can't be cut. Seems like they're iron. Who is here that put these shackles on? We need to hurry. I'm scared." And Chloe was also saying, "I'm scared too. There's something here. There's definitely something here. Can you smell that burning smell? When the sticks were burning, the smell wasn't like this. Now there's a burning smell, right?" Everyone started to smell it. It seemed like someone was burning a plastic thing in that house, and the smell of burning was spreading everywhere. There was a little smoke. To avoid it, we opened the windows of that room. We thought if we opened the windows, maybe the smoke or any gas would go out. That was the only trick we could try. Then Jake said, "Let's go. Let's check the other rooms. We'll find something, right? To break the shackles, to remove this window. Once we get Chloe out of here, we won't stay. We'll leave and then do something from outside, right?" Then a sound came from the ceiling. It was a dragging sound, but this sound wasn't stopping after a drag. It kept going on for a long time. Jake and I looked at each other. Who was making the sound from the ceiling? Jake said, "Let's go check it out. Someone has chained Chloe. We need to find out who this is, and surely they have the key. If we just find the key, we won't need to cut or break anything. We can just get out of here." We climbed the stairs to the 3rd floor. There was a big hall there, but from above the ceiling this sound was coming. A very loud sound. Here we could hear it clearly. Jake said, "There's no way to go further up. I thought the sound was coming from here. It seems like someone is on the roof, and surely they must have gone out through a window and onto the roof. That's why we couldn't catch them and couldn't figure it out. We should go to the roof." But in the open hall, lots of paintings were lying around, and some were very good. It didn't look like a child's work. It looked like the work of a proper artist. I was holding one such painting in my hand. It was the same painting of a wall with one brick broken, and the key in the middle, clearly, like a picture, and the rest were similar paintings. Then the sound came from the ceiling again, and we got nervous. Jake said, "Someone is up there, but where is the way to go up?" Just as he shone the flashlight upwards, the dragging sound was coming from above, and a little dust was falling from the ceiling. Slowly, the sound came right above our heads, as if someone had dragged a heavy thing and placed it right on the ceiling above our heads. Suddenly we saw a tile above us slide aside, and a head dangled down towards us. That face was completely black, no eyes, no mouth, as if the mouth was covered with something black. But when we were shining the flashlight, such a horrifying face, in a place called Haunted, could scare anyone. We were scared too. We both fell down. We screamed out. First, that head had come out through that small opening. Slowly, the whole torso emerged. We scrambled backward. It hung down like glue and then fell down. At first, it looked like a human head, but now it was like melted glue, black in color. After falling down, it rose up again and took a human shape. Now it was clear. Whatever this was, it was not human. Humans can't do this. Whatever it was, it had taken shape. After that, it didn't move. It just stood there. And then it answered us. We wanted to ask the question, but didn't have the courage. But as if reading our minds, it gave us an answer without a question. To get out of here, you have to find that key. If you don't find the key, you will stay here forever. The time for the house to burn has come. This house will be burned. When the house burns, you will die. Before that, you have to find the key. If you want to save your friend, find the key quickly. As soon as it said this, it melted away. How do I describe it? It was in a shape, and then it just fell down like water, like glue, then slipped through the cracks in the floor as if it had gone down through the floor. We ran back to Chloe. Chloe's eyes were wide open. Both their eyes were bulging as if they had seen a ghost. They described the same thing we had described later. They were saying, "There was a person here who dripped from the ceiling, stood in front of us, and said the house is going to catch fire. Find the key quickly, otherwise you won't be able to save your friend." Then he went into the floor. We told them the same thing. Then Chloe was saying, "Quick, save me, save me. The house is going to burn." And slowly, a little smoke started to appear. We couldn't see the fire, but smoke is a sign of fire. If there's smoke in the house, there must be a fire somewhere. Now we believed it. This house was not an ordinary house. It was a haunted house. And this night was not an ordinary night. It was Halloween night. Just like the stories are told, that's what was happening. And they say the dead don't lie, meaning we had to do what we had to do, and quickly. As soon as we went downstairs, we started looking. Where would we find that key? The walls were burned. It was a wooden house. Stones were used. Bricks weren't used. We searched room by room. The same brick wall painting with the key in the middle. But we couldn't find such a room. We had looked in every room one by one. The brick room wasn't found. Then we went back to Chloe and Maya. There were tears in our eyes. We tried pulling the shackles again, trying to break them with all our effort. But the shackles couldn't be cut, couldn't be broken. It felt like our friend was trapped here forever. After that, I said to Jake, "Jake, I'll go out and get help. We're stuck. We need someone's help. Even if no one believes us, we'll just say our friend has been imprisoned." Jake said, "No, Alex, no. You won't go alone. Wherever we go together. If we leave Chloe here, anything could happen. Maya, you stay with Chloe. We'll try to find that room. The key will find us." One by one, we searched those rooms. We saw shadows there, our own shadows. The flashlight was in our hand. There was nothing in front, but our shadows would appear in front of us, and we were getting more and more scared. Still, to save our loved ones, we feel less fear. We start fighting the fear. The same was happening here. We went back downstairs. We were wrecking every item. Jake was going to try every effort to save his friend. As we moved the burned mat from below, we saw those bricks underneath. Seeing the bricks, we felt a sense of relief. We touched the bricks, looking for the broken brick. Jake said, "No, not on the floor, the whole brick room." I said, "If there are bricks on the floor, maybe there's a basement below. The basement would be made of bricks, right?" Jake's eyes lit up too, and I also understood. That's it. After that, as we looked for a way to the basement, there must be some way to go to the basement, right? We tore up all the mats, but we found no door, no way to go down. We had no heavy tool to break the floor with. Then Jake said to me, "Alex, you go get help. I think it will be too late. And look how much smoke there is now. The more the smoke increases, the more difficult it will become. You do this. You go get help." Just as I reached the same back window we had entered through, that window now had bars. I don't know where they came from. The window could be pushed open, but those bars couldn't be moved. I couldn't get out through that window. I tried breaking another window in another room, but I couldn't get out through that window either. I came back to Jake and said, "Jake, there's no way out. That window is closed." Jake came with me. He tried too, and the surprise was, this is where we had entered from. It was as if the window had changed. The place was the same. The rooms were the same number. We got in, but the way out seemed to have closed. Then suddenly the entire house went completely dark, as if the street lights had also gone out. Only a little light was coming from Jake's flashlight. The rest of the house was in complete darkness. Just then, the sound of Chloe screaming came, along with Maya's scream. We ran up the stairs. When we reached the spot where Chloe was chained, now Maya was also chained in the same shackles, as if someone had come again, put the shackles on her legs, and left. A lock on this side, a lock on the other side, attached to the window bars. Both were tied up. They had no answer to the question of who it was who had done this in the dark. Maybe it was the same person, the ghost. No proper face, no proper shape, not human. It was doing this. It challenged us to find the key, and will we find the key or not? I don't know, but we can neither cut nor break these shackles. The darkness was all around. As soon as the streetlights went out, the room was completely dark. This had happened. When Maya tried to move, she realized it. Now we only had one flashlight. If anyone used that flashlight, it would be completely dark here. Neither Chloe nor Maya wanted anyone to leave them. Leaving them both could be a fatal mistake for us. But the smoke was getting very thick. It was getting hard to breathe. And where there's smoke, it means the fire is increasing, just not visible. We started to feel that we had to do everything quickly. We started screaming out the window. The screams were very loud, but far away we could see people's houses, but no one was coming close to help. We saw some children in the distance, but with screams coming from inside an empty, abandoned house on Halloween, everyone would think it's an attempt to scare. No one came to help. And then we felt, no one will help. We have to help ourselves. After that, Jake said, "Girls, you stay here. Look, you'll have to sit in the dark. But now both of you are chained. We have to go for help. We'll go down and check. The floor is brick, so the basement below would also be brick. There must be a way from somewhere. We'll find it and come back." We convinced them. Jake and I. The flashlight was in my hand. Jake was walking ahead. Our shadows were gone. We were surprised. We went downstairs. Surprised. We tried searching again. But when we looked inside the fireplace, we saw a handle inside. As soon as we pulled that handle, the fireplace opened a little from above, and a whole door formed. Stairs were in front, leading forward, meaning down to the basement. And we were both happy. As soon as we reached the basement, half the basement was filled with water. Dirty water. We had to find the key there as quickly as possible. But how in so much water, that too dirty water? We didn't know. Jake was afraid of water. I wasn't. I jumped into the water. Jake had the flashlight. The water was so murky you couldn't see anything in the middle. It was very smelly too. But there's a key in a brick. I was running my hands along the wall. I saw a grate in one place. That grate with bars was a small way out from the basement. It was a vent for light. When I pulled it, it came off in my hand. You could get out through there. But we didn't want to get out. We had to find the key here so we could save Maya and Chloe. Just then, a lot of smoke started coming, and we saw fire from above too. The light was blinding our eyes. The fire was very strong. Then Jake said, Quickly find the key, hurry." I started searching for the key quickly. I was running my hands along the wall, but the key wasn't being found. Then from within the water, someone grabbed my foot. They pulled me into the water and then let go. Quickly, I came up to the surface. I said to Jake, "There's someone in the water. There's someone in the water." They grabbed my foot. Again, someone grabbed my foot, pulled me down, and after a while, let go. I had trouble breathing, but finally when they let my foot go, I came up again. I was swimming towards the stairs, but someone pushed Jake into the water too. He was standing on the stairs. That same black man was pointing. "The key is in front. You have to use it." His gesture was towards that vent behind. I said, "Where is the key? I can't see it." He said, "They're right there. You have to use the key." There, floating in the water, were many of those paintings, those papers. As soon as I picked them up and looked carefully, that place of the brick, it was like the vent, a little silver-colored, and in the middle, a key, as if a key was shown in that vent. Then Jake also started saying to me, hurry up, it's coming closer to us." Then that black figure, or demon, or ghost, whatever it was, lapped into the water, grabbed Jake's foot, and pulled him under. After some time, it let go. It kept doing this repeatedly. And the flames of the fire were now starting to enter the basement too. There must be a fierce fire upstairs. There were screaming sounds too. Jake was saying, "Hurry up. If it's gesturing, there must be something, right?" I understood Jake's words. He wanted to save his love. I also wanted to save my love. Quickly, I went through that vent. As soon as I came out of the vent, I was outside the house. That was the small path to get out from the basement for light, so that light would come into the basement. When I came out, I had pulled out the bars. When I came out, the bars were back in place. I tried to pull them. Where is the key? Where is the key? The bars were locked in place. That same face, the one that could be called a faceless man, was there near the bars, near the vent. And on the upper windows, I saw Jake, I saw Chloe, I saw Maya. They were waving their hands at the windows as if saying goodbye to me, and slowly they became blurry and disappeared. I couldn't get back inside through the vent. I couldn't get inside through the window. I kept screaming and screaming. Then I came out on the road and asked someone for help. I called the police, and the police arrived there within half an hour. No smoke was coming from inside the house. The house door was broken down. The police went inside. Maya, Jake, and Chloe could not be found. I was interrogated intensely, but I kept telling the truth. No one believed my truth. I kept going around that house, peeking inside, but Maya, Jake, and Chloe were never found. The floor of the house was broken. The basement was filled with water. It was searched, but they couldn't be found. I am still trying to find them. Where did they go from inside this house? Are they alive or not? I still want to find the answer to this question, but I can't. This incident happened 5 years ago. Since then, those 3 have been missing. The police are still trying to find them, but they don't ask me questions anymore because I tell the same story again and again and no one believes it. On that Halloween night, those 3 were with me. Why did I survive? Why did those 3 disappear? If that was the way to escape from there, why couldn't the others be saved? It took me 5 years to understand one small thing. 3 people lived in that house when it caught fire. 3 people died, and exactly 3 people went missing. Could this be a coincidence? And did I get a chance to survive because of that? My mind is full of questions. For 5 years, I have been looking for answers.